Many people have discussed the economic impact of GST, but I think there are few who have noticed the social consequences of GST, especially with regards to its impact on charities and the non-profit sector. I think a lot of people will be surprised to hear that with the implementation of GST, charity will be taxed, okay? Because charities will be subject to GST just like any other businesses. Okay, so as we all know, charity is a social cause and is often undertaken by volunteers and people who are doing work that the government should be doing, but the government is not. So the charity comes in and fills this gap. Yeah, and these kind of activities, of course, should ideally be supported and encouraged by the government. But instead of giving more support, the implementation of GST will actually create more obstacles and make life very difficult and complex for charities. And this GST is applicable on all charities and NGOs, including those that are currently enjoying tax-exempt status. So even institutions that are currently tax-exempt, means they don't pay tax and all that, they will be subject to GST. So in effect, they will no longer be tax-exempt. Okay. Now I'll go through exactly how it works. So when it comes to cash donations, and you all know a lot, most of our NGOs, charities and so on are reliant on donations. Yeah? Okay. When it comes to cash donations, only cash donations without any benefits to the donor is not regarded as taxable supply and so not covered by GST. So for example, if I give, or a company gives a cash donation and does not receive any publicity or does not receive anything in return, except perhaps a receipt, then that is fine, that's still not taxed. However, if in return for the cash donation, the company receives benefit, and benefit is defined in this guideline as A, advertising or promoting the donor's or sponsor's name on the products or the booklet, for example, or naming the event after the donor or the sponsor, or even displaying the donor's name on t-shirts and so on and so forth. So, for example, if company A donates 1 million to a charity, and then they do the event, and then they put sponsored by company A, then it will be considered commercial value because the company benefits, and so there will be GST tax on the donation. So essentially, I mean, as you all know in Malaysia, it's very common practice when companies give, companies give money. Of course, there's usually some publicity and so on, but this publicity will be considered of benefit to the company, and as such will be taxed. And as obviously you can imagine, this will discourage, it will actually increase the cost of donating. Now, that is for cash donation. For donations in kind, let's say they don't give cash but they give goods, yeah? In fact, it's even worse, because for donations in kind without benefit, meaning if a company sponsors barang items, and there's no benefit, meaning they don't get any publicity or whatever, you're only not taxed if the gift is up to 500 ringgit a year. Meaning, if a company sponsors, let's say, some equipment or whatever it is, that costs more than 500, it will be taxed. And, or if they give 2 times a year, each time is 300 ringgit, that total 600 ringgit it will exceed 500 and also will be taxed. Okay? And then, of course, for goods that are given, they are donated with benefit. Meaning, for example, if a company gives coffee mugs and the coffee mug has the company logo, that is also taxable. In fact, the tax will be calculated based on the value of advertising space on the mug. Yeah? So as you can see, it's very complicated. How do you calculate these things also?